Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be watching the brand new Frozen 2 trailer. So we're going to be actually watching it together, and then I will kind of talk about some of the new things that we've seen in this, assuming we're going to see some new stuff. Well, I mean, obviously we're going to see some new stuff, which is going to make it really amazing. So we're going to be able to sort of find out a little bit more of the direction of the Frozen 2 story. So I've already done a reaction video for the first trailer, and we talked about a lot of the stuff that we saw. So if you guys missed that and you want to find out more, make sure to check that video out. I will leave a link to it at the end of this one. All right, so what do we know so far about Frozen 2? So Frozen 2, we do know it is taking a little bit of a different direction than we saw in the very first film, which is kind of interesting. We're finding out a little bit more about Anna and Elsa's parents, a little bit more about their past and Arendelle itself, maybe even some of the magic, that is inside of Elsa, where that comes from. So it's going to be really interesting to find out if we're going to get a little bit more information from this Frozen 2 trailer. Yes, so pumped. I literally can't wait. One more second, guys. We'll talk about obviously everything we've seen afterwards. So let's just go ahead and dive right into this. But before we do, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit that little bell for post notifications. I love Disney. I love playing Disney games and stuff like that. So also trailer reactions for some of the up and coming Disney films. So again, it will be a lot of fun if you guys want to stay tuned and kind of follow along with the channel. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this.
Far away, as north as we can go, once stood an enchanted forest.
You've seen an enchanted forest?
Yes, it was a magical place.
We got a really good look at the boy this time.
Since then, no one can get in or out.
Papa, that was epic.
Did you see that look from their mom?
What would I do without you?
Oh, there's some
You'll
history
always have
going
me.
there.
Has Elsa seemed weird to you?
She seems like Elsa.
There's this voice. Voice? What does that mean?
Oh my gosh. The purple fire is actually an Arendelle? That's not the impression we got from the first trailer.
The kingdom is not safe. Find who is calling to you. They may have answers.
I'm going with you.
Anna? No.
Of course
Excuse
she's
me, I
going
climbed
with
the
you,
North Mountain,
Elsa.
survived a frozen heart and saved you from my ex-boyfriend, so, I'm coming.
Whoa.
That's normal.
Oh, we're finding out what's on the other side of the mist this time.
How did you
An ice sword? Awesome.
Parted for us.
Impossible.
Okay.
Where did you learn magic?
Oh my gosh, Elsa! Are those rocks moving? Oh no, this is bad!
Then don't run into fire.
But that was a lot of action in one scene.
Without you, she may
The
lose
girl!
herself.
Was that Sven? What?
Protect Arendelle at all costs.
I believe in you, Elsa.
There's that horse. She's attacking the horse this time? The water horse? Oh, she's riding it! Is that it?
Quick question.
Oh,
Is
no.
the whole putting us in mortal danger gonna be a regular thing?
The horse is trying to destroy Olaf and the purple fire. Okay, so we know now it comes from that. Oh my gosh, I just want to keep watching that over and over again. There is so much information, I feel, right there. Okay, so I'm going to give you kind of my first thoughts, guys, but I really feel like I need to watch this a few more times. So what did you guys think? Was that as awesome as, that was way better than the first one. Oh my gosh. Guys, my mind is blown. Okay, let's just sort of dive into a couple of things that we saw at the very beginning that I literally just cannot ignore. The first thing being that blonde boy. Okay, we saw him sort of spinning out and stuff in the first trailer. We didn't get a good look at his face. You could kind of pause the video and stuff and try and get a good look, but you couldn't get that good of a look of his face. Now, the girl, I don't know why, but when we get a good look at her a little bit later, I was like, okay, so she was then spinning in sort of the leaves and stuff like that. So that's making me wonder there if the blonde boy and the little girl, they are Anna and Elsa's parents? Is this possible? I don't know why, but this makes it seem like this isn't a pastime thing. And again, we didn't see any scenes with Anna, Elsa, Olaf, Kristoff, Sven, anybody with these people. Now, the only thing was is baby Sven, unless that wasn't Sven, okay? Because I know there was that scene where you see a lot of the reindeer sort of running all together. So maybe that wasn't him, but what if it was? Does that mean that technically Anna and Elsa's mother maybe helped sort of raise Sven, maybe even got him out from this mist in the first place, and then they got separated for a long time? But then Sven would have been older by the time Kristoff was around. So maybe that doesn't work. So maybe this is a brand new little reindeer. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you think that that little reindeer that that girl was holding, do you think that was a baby Sven? Or do you think that maybe it's a different reindeer? This is going to be interesting to find out. But I'm pretty sure that boy was Anna and Elsa's father. Like, it seemed like it. And you could tell too when their mom was leaving the bedroom, right? When the father was telling the story, it seemed like it was a bittersweet memory for her. So in my opinion, I'm kind of going to myself, I'm starting to question, a lot of things definitely about their parents' past, maybe even why they went missing in the first place. Maybe that was the whole thing. They were on their way to go back to this, enchanted forest and figure out, how to get back through, or they thought they could, or maybe it was even to protect Anna and Elsa in hopes that it wasn't going to spread and come to Arendelle, right? Because that's even bigger than protecting Anna and Elsa. It's so big, it's protecting the entire kingdom, which would make sense why they left. And no one really talked about exactly where they were going. So I think that actually this is like a lot of information right there for sure. So I think that actually tells a lot about Frozen 1. Now, what I did notice is the purple fire came to Arendelle. I don't know how many of you guys kind of caught on from the first trailer there, but we did not see that. Now, we did see the purple fire sort of in that enchanted forest, but now it's actually in Arendelle. So people are like holding candles and it turns to like these pinky purple flames. It's pretty intense there, and then everybody has to flee the kingdom. So where does everybody go? Like, these are questions that I'm actually quite curious about. And the high winds, I mean, I think now kind of looking at it too, we did see that sort of like a tornado there, or like, I don't know, swirl of wind. It was like we were seeing not only the winds that we saw from the first trailer that lifted up the boy, we're actually now seeing it as being something that tends to kind of sweep through an entire kingdom, even devoured at one point. I saw, what was it, Anna and Kristoff there. I think there was maybe all of them, but again, it was sort of my first sort of look at things. Now, since everybody had to flee the kingdom, I'm assuming that's what forced Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Sven, everybody just to go out all together to figure out about this mist, because they literally can't be in their kingdom. So I think that's why they all went together. Now, who was that woman? That's what I would like to know. Maybe that woman there is the little redheaded girl. I'm wondering if, maybe that's it. I don't think so, because her eye color looked different, but again, the scene was pretty dark. Now, I think she is going to have quite a bit of impact. Now, there was also a guy that we saw there. Like, he looked like a soldier. Now, maybe it's Arendelle soldiers that got trapped on the other side of the mist. So, again, it could sort of all go back to maybe why Anna and Elsa's parents decided to go and maybe rescue some of these people that have been left there for a very, very long time. Because from my understanding, it's not something that, they tried very hard to get through. But, I mean, you never know, right? So we did kind of get a look at him. I think he's going to actually have quite a bit of an impact in the story for sure as well. or at least getting some of the backstory. Now, I think probably my favorite, or one of my favorite, it's tough. There were two scenes that I was like absolutely in love with. The first one is when Elsa has her hair down and she's just running on ice pillars. I thought that was so cool. I don't have no idea what that scene means or anything, but it looked amazing, and I would definitely love to see that again and again and again. I'm hoping I can get a screenshot of that, maybe even for my thumbnail. It just looked so cool. Again, I don't know what the meaning is behind that, but I'm sure we will find out in the movie. Now, there was also a look, and this was kind of, I think, one of my favorite things, was there was this little, like, lizard guy who was adorable. I don't know if he's a lizard or what he is. Some sort of magical creature. We'll just call him magical creature for now. And he was licking Elsa's, like, little snowflakes. It was so cute. And I hope he comes out in, like, a plushie or something at the Disney store, because I am totally all over that. Now, we do know that the Disney store is releasing some of the merchandise in October, so it is going to be interesting to see if this little guy ends up being part of the merch. I'm totally all over that. I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10 in cuteness, he was like a 20, so yeah, adorable. Now, we did see, and I know we saw this in the first trailer, but we saw a little bit of a lead up to the scene, was in the first trailer we saw Anna and Olaf in like an ice canoe, all right? And they went over the falls and stuff like that, and it looked horrible. But now we're sort of seeing just before they went into that cave and fell down the falls. So we did see these big giant rocks. Now, if you guys were paying really close attention, and I only saw it for a brief second, so maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were breathing. So I'm assuming these are those big giant monsters that we did see later on. I'm assuming that maybe they were like sleeping for like a long time, and Olaf and Anna kind of woke them up. I'm assuming that's maybe where all the fire sort of comes from and everything like that, because, you know, they kind of woke them up. At least the forest fire, at least. Okay, then we kind of go to where we saw in the first trailer that Anna was saved by Kristoff from the purple fire, right? And Elsa was sort of left there crouching down and stuff like that. Now, there was a line that Anna said in the trailer, and she was like, or Elsa, I guess, first said, you know, don't follow me into fire. And then Anna was like, well, then don't run into the fire, right? So obviously Elsa is okay. I was a little bit worried after the first one, maybe that like took her powers away or something like that. I definitely don't think so. So it was actually quite interesting to sort of see Elsa panicking a little bit before obviously that runaway scene, which we didn't really see that much of in this. But I don't know, I think it's quite interesting. I think Elsa's gonna win that fight for sure. Now, again, those rock trolls. Now, I think they were going, essentially, now that they're awake and moving and causing chaos, I think that they were headed for Arendelle. So I am guessing that that enchanted mist maybe is what sort of locked or kept these, I'm calling them trolls, but they're not really trolls, these like giant rock monsters. Rock monsters. That's their name for now. Rock monsters. So like the trolls, I don't mean like the rock trolls. The little ones that are friendly and cute and adorable. I think that these big giant ones were going possibly to destroy Arendelle. Now, if that was the case, that would make sense why the mist sort of closed everything off, sort of in that enchanted forest. Because obviously, if there's light magic, dark magic probably isn't far behind. So I'm definitely thinking that's, you know, what is sort of going to be happening is protecting the kingdom from these rock monsters. Rock monster. Okay. Yeah. So the other thing was, and we did see this in the first trailer too. I'm sorry, there's a lot of information, but I feel like I really got a lot from watching it just even once, was we saw Elsa, we saw in the first trailer that she ran up, like she was trying to run on the ocean. It was crazy. And then she tried to freeze a giant wave, and, you know, naturally it's the ocean, Elsa, like, come on. And she fell into the water, and there was that horse that was in there, right? I don't know, water, ice, whatever it was. And we saw this time Elsa actually attacking it. The first time we saw it just sort of swim by Elsa, but this time Elsa was actually attacking it. So I thought that was actually quite interesting. Maybe that's sort of a continuation or another piece to that scene. Maybe, you know, she makes another attempt and then that horse gets mad and then attacks. Maybe the first time he just like ignored her and the second time did not. Now I think that this horse is actually a bit of a problem because we did see, or even hear as well, that when Olaf at the end was looking into the water, he saw eyes, right? And then we heard a neigh. So after that, there was purple fire or pink fire, whatever. And I'm thinking that maybe that this horse is part of the problem. I just don't think it's that controlled. Maybe it's good, but it has something that makes it react. I have no idea. But Elsa manages to get on the horse somehow. That's a little bit strange to me, that whole scene. But I mean, hey, Elsa, if you can ride the horse, I guess, and save the kingdom, then go for it, right? So I'm thinking that maybe there's a little bit more to this water horse or magical horse that we don't obviously know enough of, but I think it's actually kind of evil. I'm thinking it's evil and it needs to be kind of tamed. There's some sort of, again, dark magic that's inside of it that it can't be good or whatever. So it is sort of what's protecting, I don't think it's protecting the kingdom, but I think it's protecting either these, like, again, rock monsters or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I think that's pretty much all I got from that, guys, at least for a first time. But I think it gives us a lot to think about. So again, we've got big giant rock monsters attacking Arendelle. The horse, like, I guess, can create these like dangerous purpley pink flames that can like absolutely destroy Arendelle. It can bring wind, all of this stuff. We know Elsa has the power, obviously, to maybe even control it a little bit. So we'll see. I think Elsa is going to be the real key this time in saving the kingdom. I think from Frozen 1, I think that hero personally was Anna, right? I think most of us can agree Anna was sort of the hero in Frozen 1. I think this time in Frozen 2, they're gonna make Elsa the hero. Because when we think about it, yes, Frozen had a lot to do with Elsa. The most of the movie was about Anna's adventure. So I think this time that may turn a little bit and we're gonna see the winds shift and it's gonna be kind of more geared to Elsa and obviously the history of Arendelle. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this trailer reaction. I absolutely cannot wait for the movie to come out. It's just under 2 months away now until it is officially released in theaters. So it's gonna be a big day. I think the theaters are gonna be absolutely sold out for that movie. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you guys give it lots of Mickey thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you guys for the next video. Bye!